Hey yo, what's up guys? Ash aka Boogie back here again with the crossover. Hope you're all having a great day. Nice day over here in Australia, just chilling, came back from work, thought I'd knock out another podcast for you guys for the weekend of sport. A lot going on, so let's get straight into the news. So straight up, Australia versus New Zealand happened on the weekend in rugby league. So Australia 26 to New Zealand 4. Definitely not a great game from the New Zealand boys. Shaun Johnson probably had legit one of his worst games in his career. I've never seen him look as bad as what he looked on the weekend. We all know that when Shaun Johnson's at his best, he is one of the best players in the game, but it just wasn't his game on the weekend. I'm not here to bash a bloke. This is not what this podcast is for, but hopefully he steps up and beats the amazing player that he usually is. Usually when he runs the ball, he's so dynamic and creates so many opportunities. In this game, he just looked like he was trying too hard. His kicking game was off, and whenever he got the hands on the ball, everything went wrong, really. You know, the first try Addo-Carr scored was straight off that. And Addo-Carr had a great game too, by the way, so Addo-Carr played really well. Another really big performer was definitely Payne Haas. He only played for I think he played for half an hour, 30 minutes, if that. Ended up getting 13 runs, 157 meters, 18 tackles. For such a big fella, big young fella, he really plays really hard, quick football, quick on the feet. We saw in the NRL this year, he's an 80-minute forward, plays really, really well. So definitely a big strength that Australia has him on the side. A couple other big players, definitely Paul Vaughan had a good game, Cordner had a good game, Frizzell had a nice one, Damien Cook with 119 metres played really well, Papali had a good game with 134 metres, Clemmer had 152 with 21 tackles, Travojevic 20 tackles with 50 metres, Addo-Carr, as I was saying, 109 metres, scored a try. Latrell looked damaging. Latrell actually looked like Latrell for a little bit there. I know during the NRL season he kind of fizzled off. We're going to start getting into the Latrell news a little bit later on, because there's a little bit of news surrounding him and where he might go next year. So definitely it was good to see him actually get back to the form where he was before, and maybe give him a little bit more money towards the NRL team that might try to shoot for him, Ben Hunt didn't really do much. Cherry Evans didn't really do too much. I guess you couldn't fault him for anything he did, but he wasn't too amazing. I think Tedesco had a great game, 180 metres. What do you expect? Tedesco is one of the best players in the league right now, probably the best player in the world right now, so you expect a really good game out of him. So overall, the Aussies really just took control, took the game really to New Zealand. Not really much else to talk to about from New Zealand side of things. They didn't really get anything going. New news coming in, Shaun Johnson did get dropped for the next game against Great Britain, which is real weird because Shawnee J has always been there. He's been the Kiwis half for how long now, so definitely something new there with Kieran Foran coming in. So I'm not a massive fan of that. I don't think he will play any better than what Shaun Johnson does. If anything, Kieran Foran would probably get injured. Just kidding, just jokes on us that one. But honestly, if you'd rather have Shaun Johnson or Kieran Foran, who would you rather have? To me, I would rather have Shaun Johnson any day of the week. The things that Shaun Johnson can do just override anything that Kieran Foran does consistently, if that makes sense. So I don't know whether they were thinking of it from a consistency point, but to me, that was a wrong decision. So RTS at the back there, Mamalo, Nickel Kosag was centre, Manu other centre, Asako on the wing. Asako playing for the Kiwis is definitely a weird one, because he did play for Samoa International in the couple of games this season. So guessing that Rapana may not be well. I don't know. Usually you see Rapana there on that wing. But it's good to see Osako actually get named for a Div 1 country. So, with New Zealand, Australia, England, he got named with those boys. But would have still loved to see him pledge allegiance to Samoa like, Jason Taumalolo did with Tonga. But I guess it is what it is. As I said before, Kieran Foran with Benji Marshall in the halves. Tenavano, Brennan Smith, Warrior Hargraves, Britton Nakora, Kenny Bromwich, Tarpany, and the bench with Hughes, Harawira Naira, Armal, Blair, Proctor, and Simonson. Great Britain, Lomax at the fullback, Hardacre with the centre with Connor, Ryan Hall with wing, Jackson Hastings making his English debut in this game. I have to see how he goes. Definitely weird to see him chuck on a British jersey, but pair it up with Gareth Widdop. I reckon they're going to be a killer duo. Hodgson, Burgess, Bateman, Whitehead, Graham. That's just an amazing forward pack right there. It could go either way this game. Being New Zealand, I think they have more strike players in the team. But without Sean Johnson, I think that just takes that added spark out of that squad. Now, I don't really think Benji and Sean Johnson work well together either way because they're both sort of the same player in a way. I know Benji's chucked away all these fancy side steps and flick passes and stuff for a bit more consistent Cooper Cronk type game, but it still shows flashes of the old Benji. It just never worked too well between Benji and Sean Johnson. Maybe him and Foran will work well for New Zealand, but yeah, I still wouldn't go past Johnson. It kind of really doesn't make sense to me why they would pass on him. So a couple other games on the weekends, Samoa and Fiji, definitely going to be a great game there. Samoa's a pretty stacked team with Monotalo at back, Tafua, Lafai, Leilua, To'o, Seve, Luai, Polo, Levi, Tapau, Chikam, Afoa, bench with Louis, Leota, Leilua, Gave, Sal. That team is stacked. Fiji got a couple of unknown with a couple of known players like Suriasi Vunivalu on the wing, Kevin Naguama, Brendan Wakeham, Kane Evans, Kamakamita, Kikau. They look like a decent squad, but I got a Samoa getting up on this one just a bit more. Strength across the park. If we're going halves by halves though, Brendan Wakeham is definitely a good halfback, but Luai is definitely an amazing halfback in the league. So really weird to see Seve playing in 5'8". I don't know if he has any 5'8" skills. Judging off what I saw from him in Melbourne Storm, playing centre, I don't know if he's that class player. Maybe off the bench, I don't know. We'll have to see on the weekend. He did have a good run in nines, so yeah, we'll just have to see about that one. And Australia versus Tonga, you boys already know what's going on with that one. Tonga have a nice squad with a good win over England, so for me, Australia will be too strong. As we all know, Australia's probably the best squad in the world. We have best squad in the world now. They beat New Zealand, so best squad in the world in rugby league. So it'd be a hard task for Tonga to do what they did against Britain to Australia, because Australia across the park is just an amazing squad. So, but I hope to see they give them a good crack, and yeah. So Tonga did beat England on the weekend, as I was just saying. Great game. There was a crazy try behind, I think it was before halftime. They threw the ball about like 10 times to each other, end up scoring in the corner, Sione Katoa. definitely good to see the Tongans get up there and against England, basically Great Britain. So really good to see. 14-6, so really close game. Good to see the Tongan boys step up and put it up against the British boys. Couple other big news going around at the moment. Fainu, the Sea Eagles hooker, definitely sucks to see him. He's in jail at the moment, stabbing someone in the middle of a church. Such a weird place to stab a person. Guessing it. I have no clue. Maybe it was self-defense. Not much else news come out as in motive. But a 10-centimeter knife in church, definitely a weird place for it to go down. But I guess if you hang with those type of people, which he has, I ain't putting it getting past him, but it's hard to get past the life when you associate yourself with that life, you know what I mean? He grew up around that. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't self-defense, but for him to even be in that situation kind of really sucks, and for him to use that type of force really sucks. So hope he does alright. I hope he goes well. I reckon you won't see him back in the NRL anymore. Sucks to see because he was such a superstar this year for the Sea Eagles, so hopefully he's doing well. Hope all prayers and that go to the family. Hope everyone's doing well, and I hope the person that got stabbed obviously didn't die. I hope he's speedy recovery, and yeah, all good come from this situation. Positivity over everything. In other news, as I was saying before with Latrell Mitchell, so apparently Parramatta are chucking 11 million in on top of for Latrell Mitchell. Parramatta are really throwing their weight around in the off-season this year, trying to get players over to them. So they signed Ricky Cabell-Gillard, which is a big one for them. Definitely a nice forward to solid that forward pack up. So we'll have to see how the Latrell situation goes. 11 million over 10 years is definitely big money. That's like a Jason Taumalolo deal, which is going to be basically his whole career. That's a big decision for him. I have seen news that all he wants to do is get his money, get a certain amount of money and go, and live on a farm. So hopefully that goes well for him. I know there's the Bulldogs in the conversation as well. The Bulldogs have a bit of money behind them. Yeah, not many other teams really I can see really putting a big one on him. Like the Rabbitohs earlier on the season I thought were going to, and now without Sam Burgess, who just recently retired, they could definitely make a shot for him. But if the Eels are willing to chuck 11 million at him, which is a lot of money, I don't know if I could turn that down. That's crazy. That's you're $1 million man. You're set 10 years at one club, you know. And that club is definitely in a good future right now. You know, they had a great season last season. Mitchell Moses had a great season. Gutho, definitely a good situation to jump into. I don't really see him going anywhere, like going to Parramatta. Like I don't see that happening. But for Parramatta even make a statement to chuck 11 mil 10 years, it's a power move on that club. So well done Parramatta, you got yourself in that position, and you're looking great for next season. If you do get Latrell, I might chuck some money on you guys to win overall. With the Roosters definitely dropping off a little bit. So another also player everyone's in the race for, David Fifita. Everyone's chucking big money at him at the moment. I know my Warriors are in the conversation there with $1 million. I know Parramatta are in the conversation with $1 million. The Bulldogs are always there. The Rabbits, the Roosters. The Rabbits would be interesting there because now Sam Burgess is gone. Wayne Bennett used to be the old coach of him, so definitely a favourable place for him to go. So that would be pretty crazy, to be honest. But from what I heard, he's going to stay in Brisbane, take whatever money he can to stay in Brisbane. So we'll have to see how that turns out. All right, moving on. So we got NFL. My Panthers getting smashed. So 51 to, I think it was 51 to 14. Let me just quickly check the stats there. Definitely not a great game for the Panthers. Not a great game for our quarterback, Kyle Allen. As we were just talking about him last week, we were all not last week, the week before, about him maybe being the next, the quarterback to keep Cam out of the job. But after that performance, I don't really see him keeping that position when Cam gets healthy. So 51 to 13, the most points since week 16, 1993 from the 49ers. So big game for them, played really well. Garoppolo played nice, but the 49ers defense is amazing. Nick Bosa, he definitely has a claim for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, and the way he's been playing at the moment, he could put his name straight up there with Defensive Player of the Year. Been playing amazing. I know Miles Barrett's there. Rich Sherman's had a really good year. The 49ers have probably been the biggest surprise this year. Overall, 51 points on my Carolina Panthers is massive, Carolina has one of the best defenses in the league, and they just made the whole team look silly, really. It was like the worst day for the Carolina Panthers on Monday. Monday for us, so Sunday over there for America. But Christian McCaffrey, definitely a beast, 117 yards. I definitely would put Christian McCaffrey as MVP at the moment, and the Offensive Player of the Year. If it was mid-season, so mid-season awards, I reckon that would go that way. If not, Aaron Rodgers would definitely be up there. Russell Wilson's been playing amazing at the moment, so him for MVP is definitely a big race there. Couple other big games on the weekend. So you had the Colts just get the win over the Broncos, 15 to 13. Titans beat the Buccaneers 27 to 23. That was a difficult one for me to call. I thought the Buccaneers would get it done as underdogs, so I thought they were going to get it done there. Mike Evans did pass James Wilder for most receives in Tampa Bay history, so well done to Mike Evans there. The Saints beating the Cardinals, so big one there. The Saints got Drew Brees back and he played amazing. Sean Payton, whatever he does to a team, he just, the consistency that the Saints have, and even with Teddy Bridgewater in the team, they were pretty much unbeatable. So they're definitely one of the best picks for Super Bowl this year. Them with the Patriots, so we'll have to see how that one turns out. The Cardinals obviously not playing amazing, 3-4-1 with rookie quarterback, which is great for the rookie quarterback. He's definitely playing a lot better than what people would have thought to start off with. Still has a lot to grow, and it would be nice for him to have good players be placed around him. Like, I know Larry Fitzgerald is getting old now, and he just doesn't have the same receiver core as, let's say, a Jared Goff has. That, if you put Kyler Murray in that situation, I think he'd be showing everyone he's one of the best quarterbacks up and coming in the league right now. So talking about Jared Goff, the Rams did get the win over the Bengals. Not really a big shock there. Bengals go to 0-8. Horrible start from the Bengals. Last news I heard, Andy Dalton is not starting next week, so they're going to be chucking in the quarterback. So Cooper Kupp, 220 receiving yards, most by Rams player since 1997. So Cooper Kupp coming off the injury, playing amazing football at the moment. Good to see. The Jags got the win over the Jets. So Minshew Mania is back in business. That mustache man, you know how it is. 3 touchdowns, most for rookie quarterback in franchise history. So the Jags, obviously, really, that's not a massive stat because the Jags never had a great rookie quarterback. So, but good on Minshew. That adds to his legacy, adds to the legend of Minshew. We've all seen the memes. He's the next Chuck Norris at the moment. So I hope he builds to be a bigger star for the NFL. The Giants got it done 31-26. The Lions got it done over the Giants, 31-26. The Chargers beat the Bears by 1 point, 17-16. Eagles got the win over the Bills 31-13. So Eagles 218 yards, most since week 13, 2014. The Eagles are starting to hit stride now, so it'd be good to see them playing their best football towards the end of the year now. So the Seahawks 27-20 over the Falcons. Not a big shock there. The Falcons been playing awful football. I have no clue what's going on there. Just playing awful. Patriots got it done over the Browns. So the Patriots got their new receiver, Mohamed Sanu, in a trade. As if Brady needed any more help. Now New England are looking like a beast team. They've always been a beast team, but now, obviously, with Mohamed Sanu, great player, Philip Dorsett, James White, Edelman, that's all big name players that Brady has to throw with. So, big news there. 13 points for Cleveland Browns. 20-31, 194 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception from Baker Mayfield. Not a great game from him. Nick Chubb playing really well at the moment. 20 attempts, 131 yards. In other games, Texans got it done over the Raiders. So Deshaun Watson's been playing amazing football at the moment. Definitely, if they had a sophomore player of the year, it'd be him or Lamar Jackson. I couldn't really pick between the two. I think Deshaun Watson is a bit more consistent. Lamar Jackson's been putting up amazing numbers as well, so you can't really pass that up, and both teams have been winning, so good on him. I think it's just good to see the Texans play good football. So Packers 31 to Chiefs 24. Big game for the Packers there. Obviously, the Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes is not the normal Chiefs that we know and love. But Aaron Rodgers playing really good football. Some of the best football now that he's back from injury. Hopefully he stays uninjured for the Packers fans out there. We'll have to see anyway. Steelers beat the Dolphins. Not a big game there. Dolphins been playing horrendous. 14 points, and the Steelers 27 points. Two not amazing teams this year, so not really big news there. So next week coming up, so we got the 49ers and the Cardinals coming up first game. I got the 49ers in a big one. Texans Jags. So the Texans have been playing really good football at the moment, and the Jags, they've been hot and cold. Minshew still rookie. I got the Texans on a big one. Colts Steelers. I got the Colts by 14. Bears Eagles. I got the Bears, I reckon. Jets Dolphins, two horrendous teams. It could go either way. I got the Jets because the Dolphins I don't see get any better. We'll go with the Dolphins here. So the Dolphins just traded for Akeem Talib. So sorry for Akeem Talib to be even put in that situation. I don't see the Dolphins getting any better anytime soon. Hopefully they do on the off season. I hope they make good moves and they may have a good draft, but this year they're not going anywhere. Vikings Chiefs. Tough game for the Chiefs as they still haven't got Patrick Mahomes back. Vikings hot and cold this year. Kirk Cousins is playing amazing against non-good passing defense, which is normal. I see the Chiefs just getting over this one. Redskins Bills. Easy one there. I got the Bills. The Redskins have been playing hot and cold football as well. I don't really see them getting anywhere too soon. Buccaneers, Seahawks. I got the Seahawks in a big one. Russell Wilson been playing amazing football. Raiders, Lions. I got the Raiders to beat the Lions there. Tough game for both teams here. Both been in that mediocre form. So it would be a good game to watch, as in back and forth. Matt Stafford throwing bombs with Derek Carr throwing bombs. So hopefully a great offensive game. Packers versus Chargers. I got the Packers to beat the Chargers by 2 touchdowns. Browns, Broncos. I got the Browns beating the Broncos. Oh, no, actually. I got the Broncos beating the Browns because the Broncos defense has been stepping up now. The Browns, they've probably been my biggest disappointment this year. With all the names that they had, and Baker Mayfield, he ended the year so well last year. Now he's gone nowhere, so sucks to see. But yeah, I'll have to go Broncos on that one. Patriots, Ravens. So tough game here for the Patriots. So Patriots being the best team in the comp, but the Ravens can, when they want to, put on a team. I don't think the Ravens defense is good enough to hold. Oh, actually, yeah, I see a bad game here for Lamar Jackson, with the Patriots defense playing so well at the moment. So I'll probably see Lamar Jackson dropping a couple of interceptions. Patriots defense been playing amazing. Stephon Gilmore definitely up there for Defensive Player of the Year. Overall, Bill Belichick has got this team running really well. I think I got the Patriots by a touchdown. Cowboys, Giants to end the week. I got the Cowboys by a big one. Check that one out on ESPN. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott will have a great game. With the Giants, been struggling lately, so I don't really see any sort of way they can win. I know it's a big game for them, like they can step up. They usually step up against the Cowboys, but this Giants team's so much different to this like past year's Giants team. I don't really see them winning in any sort of way. So big game here in the NBA. So we're going to switch it up with the NBA news. Big game, the Lakers smashed the Grizzlies. Anthony Davis had a 40-point, 20-rebound game. Definitely massive for the Lakers. LeBron, 23 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds. Definitely not the old school LeBron, but definitely contributing to the Lakers. No other big ones here. Dwight Howard definitely not getting to production that the Lakers want at the moment, so JaVale McGee definitely is a good starter for him for center. Have heard news that Boogie might come back during the season, which would be awesome for Boog. I'm a massive Boogie fan, so hopefully he comes back and shows everyone that he's a beast center. I know he didn't look amazing coming back in the Toronto series last year. Did look slow, but I see Boogie, his mental, he can really get back to where he needs to be. Other big games, so we had the Mavericks beat the Nuggets, which was a massive one. Jokic getting triple double, all 10s. Good start there. With the Mavericks, everyone stepping up there. Everyone in double digits par Powell. So a big one there for the Mavericks to get it over the Nuggets, who I believe is one of the best teams in the comp right now, the Nuggets. So that's a massive one. The Heat got it done over the Hawks as well. Not massive surprise for me there. Overall this year, the 76ers have looked real nice. Ben Simmons is is playing really good basketball with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's played good the last couple of games. The Heat up top there in second. Raptors, Bucks, Celtics, Hawks, Pistons, Magic, Nets, and the rest of them at the bottom there. So the Pistons 2-2 had a couple of good wins. Andre Drummond definitely a big key there with Blake Griffin. The Heat looking really nice. The Heat are actually playing really well without Butler. Inject Butler into that lineup, they're going to be playing even better. Early in the season anyway, so this could all change later on. In the West, the Spurs leading the league 3-0. Timberwolves, Clippers, Lakers to finish the 4. Mavericks, Jazz, Nuggets, Rockets to finish the 8. And the Suns, the biggest surprise of the league, 2 wins, 2 losses. Already doing better than last year. But we'll have to see how it goes. Other big surprises: Trailblazers 2-2, Warriors 1-2, Thunder 1-3, Pelicans 0-4. I thought the Pelicans played amazing their first game of the season, only just came away with a loss. Since then, haven't been playing too well. I think a little bit of dysfunction within the squad. Hopefully Zion comes back better than ever from this meniscus injury. Hopefully it's not too bad, and I think everyone should really take a backseat on the weight issue with Zion. If he is comfortable with being what he is, and I don't think he's fat, I don't think any of that. I think he's just a bulky player and a freak athlete. He's been doing it for years, the same size he has been doing it for years. Why stop now? Why change anything? Usually injuries happen is when you change something about you so drastically. Hopefully he comes back better than ever and shows everyone that he should be the Rookie of the Year. We'll go into some stats, league leaders and stuff in the NBA at the moment. So league leaders in points: Kyrie Irving, 37.7 points. He had a couple of really nice games for the Brooklyn Nets to start of the season, even though in a losing team, playing pretty well at the moment. Once KD comes back on that team, they're going to be fire. Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets are playing really nice at the moment. Everyone thought it wouldn't work between Harden and Westbrook, but they're really showing everyone that they can take back seats, and whoever needs to take over the game during the night, that will do so. So great to see that the Rockets are really putting it all together and piecing it together and playing really nice basketball. Lakers starting off pretty cold to start the season, but now starting to get into the groove. Getting AD back is definitely a big one there. Score 40 points. He's an animal with 20 rebounds. He will definitely need to play MVP type basketball to get them into the finals this year, I reckon. Not into the finals, into the Western Conference Finals this year. LeBron, I don't really see the takeover of the league LeBron like everyone thought was going to be. It sucks, you know. I enjoy LeBron being the king. He's definitely not MJ. He's not the greatest player in the league, but he is the best player in the world right now. And when he's playing at his best, the NBA is an amazing game to watch. So all the best to him. Hopefully he gets back to full strength. I don't think he's full strength right now, but we'll have to see what comes up later on. Chicago, my team, not really. They started hot and cold again. Zach LaVine had a nice game a couple of days ago against Memphis with 37 points. He'll need to step up and control that team. Kobe White, I reckon, should be starting. So hopefully that switches up soon. Could be a chance for Rookie of the Year. Ja Morant's been playing good basketball at the moment. I think he's just out injured. A couple of other big names playing really well at the moment. Karl Anthony Towns really taking the Timberwolves under his wing and playing MVP type basketball right now. Averaging 32 points, on 52.5 field goal percentage. 13 rebounds a game, 5 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Damian Lillard also having a great year this year. Seeing him drag the Trailblazers all the way through to the finals this year, I reckon, definitely be a good bet to go on. Switching up, we'll go on to the UFC at the moment. So the UFC this weekend, Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. So my thoughts on that. So if this goes the distance, I got this Nate taking it. If it goes to the ground, I got Nate winning. But on the feet, Jorge Masvidal, I think, has a better striking overall. I think Nate is such a hard person to take out of a game plan, especially when Nate can really last 5 rounds quite easy, does it all the time, pieces you up. He just pitter-patters his way through to getting you into uncomfortable territory. And once you start breathing heavy, you start doing stuff that you don't really, it's not game plan. So we saw that with Conor. We saw that with Pettis. He's really such a great fighter in that sort of way that he will just brawl you into his game plan. So I see Nate taking that one out. Another massive fight on that card I want to talk about, Kevin Lee and Gillespie. Gillespie is a fighter that no one is talking about at the moment, and I think he is like legitimately one of the best fighters in that division, in the lightweight division. So he's definitely one to watch out for. I got Gillespie the win by submission or decision against Kevin Lee. Not to say Kevin Lee is a scrub. Kevin Lee is a murderer, great fighter. What he did with Tony Ferguson when he had the staph infection, I thought was crazy. I thought, he really gave it his all in that fight. But Gillespie, I think he's just on another level. I think he's the next level fighter that we're looking for in that lightweight division. Do I think he will beat Khabib at the moment? Not really. I don't know. We'll have to see him take on... Well, Kevin Lee would be an amazing test for him to see how he takes on someone like a wrestler. I know Kevin Lee can stand up pretty well, but he was a Div 1 wrestler, so it would be good to see Gillespie get tested in that sort of way. Darren Till versus Kelvin Gastelum, a great fight there. Darren Till looks like an animal at the moment. Really fits his name as the gorilla, versus Kelvin Gastelum that came off the loss to Israel Adesanya. It'd be awesome to see how Darren Till does jumping, because he jumped from welterweight to middleweight. His striking is amazing. Ground game was a bit so-so, and Woodley did take him into deep water with that and really showed everyone the blueprint to Darren Till. And with the last 2 losses, I hope he comes back and he fights amazing. I really would like to see him beat Gastelum in this one. I think Gastelum is an amazing fighter, but I just don't see Gastelum still being a middleweight. I think Gastelum is a welterweight. If only he was disciplined enough to get to that weight, I reckon he would tear up the welterweight division. But I got Till by knockout. Stephen Thompson versus LeCue. It's a tough fight there because Wonderboy just come off a knockout against Pettis, but I think that was the only biggest test that Wonderboy had, other than Woodley, and Woodley could have gone either way both fights. So I think Wonderboy will be able to get it done by LeCue, and I'm pretty sure he's actually underdog here. Derek Lewis versus Lewis is gonna knock this guy out. Corey Anderson, Johnny Walker. So I got Johnny Walker by choose the rounds. I'll go second round knockout. Brad Tavares fighting on this card. Andrei Arlovsky. Definitely a great card. me and the boys will definitely sit down and watch that one, and I'll bring you back the news first up on that one. Overall, I think it's going to be amazing. I hope the Diaz-Masvidal fight is what everyone believes it's going to be. It's just a scrap fest. Two gangsters just going at it. I hope it goes every way that we all hope and wish it goes. So to finish off, I do apologise for the late one. I did miss last week because I had a lot going on last week. And I also missed doing the 2 podcasts this week. I'm thinking I might do another one tomorrow just to catch up and get into a rhythm. As I said, this is still early. I still think I'm not doing the best on all this. Like I nitpick and I know what I'm doing, but I just want to fine tune myself to be more entertaining and because overall my perception of this channel, I want to be more than just sport. I want to be entertainment, gaming, music, just everything overall. And that's why I chose the name Crossover, because I want to cross over into multiple things. Not just sport, but sport is my passion. I love my sport, as you guys might know by the way I'm talking. I know I do come across as really unprepared. I'm trying to give it more of a realistic feel, but as we all know, we only just get better from making mistakes, and I think that I am growing after every episode that I'm doing. So stay tuned for the next one. As I promised, we did add NBA into it. I want to just kind of cut it all down a little bit. Obviously not do every game, but obviously do the big games that everyone's watching and do the big news that everyone's talking about. Shout out to all my homies at work. Shout out to my family. Shout out to everything. I hope Fainu is doing well in jail. Sucks to see him go down that path. His 2 brothers in jail. So fingers crossed. Everything's all positive. Stay positive. Don't do anything stupid. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Take it easy.